chosen one. You have people looking foolish as everything hits the fan, and it's no surprise because you are God's chosen. While you question yourself, the universe is exposing every person who tries to compete with assignments. Every confrontation, every collapse, every reveal is strategic training. What looks like chaos is activation. What feels brutal is refinement. You're not being taken out, you're being turned on. You've been feeling shook lately, real shook, like something's lurking around every corner. Like you're in some twisted snow globe and everything you see is distorted reflections of yourself that terrify you. You look in the mirror some days and you don't even recognize who's staring back. Your confidence is under attack. Your beauty is being questioned. Your whole sense of self feels like it's been put in a blender. But chosen one, you're not losing anything, you're shedding, you're purging, you're releasing every version of yourself that was built on lies, trauma, and other people's opinions. Yes, it's terrifying watching those old versions die, but what's coming is about to make you dangerous. You are inside a snow globe. Visualize yourself inside this protective glass sphere. Inside with you are all these reflections, these distorted images of yourself, these terrifying versions of who you think you're becoming. It's like being in a house of mirrors where everything is warped and nothing looks quite right. Outside this snow globe are two distinct groups. One group genuinely loves you, pressing hands against the glass, yelling your name, saying, "I'm here, I see you, I love you, I'm not going anywhere," fighting through obstacles to get to you, refusing to give up even when you've given up on yourself. These are your real ones, your day ones, the people God assigned to your life for such a time as this, but you can barely hear them, voices muffled, faces blurry. You sense presence but can't quite reach it, because the second group is making too much noise. This group is also outside the snow globe, but not trying to help, throwing rocks at the glass, shaking the globe trying to make you fall, screaming accusations, spreading lies, casting doubt. The haters, the energy vampires, the jealous observers, the devil's little minions who are terrified of what you're becoming. This noise is so loud, so constant, so overwhelming that it drowns out the voices of people who actually matter. So you're trapped inside this globe, surrounded by terrifying reflections of yourself, unable to clearly hear the people who love you, being bombarded by people who want to see you fail. While you've been minding your business, trying to heal, trying to grow, trying to just make it through each day, people have been actively working against you, not passively, actively, intentionally. The devil has been throwing every possible distraction, every possible obstacle, every possible attack, because the devil knows something you're only beginning to understand. You are about to break through into levels of power, influence, and anointing that will disrupt darkness on massive scale. You've been noticing it. People you thought were solid, suddenly showing different colors, connections that felt real, turning out to be performances. You meet someone and there's instant spark. You're so excited. Finally, someone who gets it, someone creative, someone spiritual, someone who sees the world the way you do. You have one amazing conversation and you're thinking, this is it. This is my person. This is divine connection. Then you see them again, and it's like a different human is standing in front of you. The magic is gone. The depth disappeared. Now gossip is flowing. Now competition is showing. Now the shadow self is on full display, and you're standing there confused, like, what just happened? Was I wrong about them? Did I misread the situation? Am I losing my discernment? No, chosen one, you didn't misheard anything. That person was a test. That connection was sent to see if you would compromise your standards for companionship, if you would lower your vibration for acceptance, if you would ignore red flags because you're tired of being alone. And you didn't. You saw through it. You pulled back. You protected your energy, even though it hurt. Multiple people have been planted in your path, each one designed to teach you something, each one serving as a test. Some were there to show you what manipulation looks like, so you can spot it faster next time. Some were there to reveal how people will try to use your gifts, your energy, your anointing for their own benefit while giving you nothing in return. Some were there to demonstrate what happens when someone has no core values, no real substance, just empty performance and borrowed personality. You might have given someone a gift thinking it was thoughtful, something generous, and the response was weird. The gift was taken, but something felt off about the energy. No real gratitude, just expectation, like you owed that, and more. That was a lesson about energy vampires who take but never give back. Something is happening to your energy field right now that you might not fully recognize yet. You're being electrically charged. People feel you before seeing you. You're not trying to intimidate anyone, but certain people get real uncomfortable real fast when you're around. That's the anointing activating. That's what happens when God marks you as chosen in ways the spiritual realm can see. Some people sense it and don't like it. The power radiating off you exposes how powerless others actually are. The light surrounding you highlights how much darkness others are carrying. The favor on your life makes others aware of how much lack exists in theirs. This charge you're carrying is not optional. You can't turn it off when it's inconvenient. It's woven into your DNA now. The more you try to hide it, the more uncomfortable you'll be. Your only option is to embrace this upgrade and trust that anyone who can't handle your energy isn't supposed to be in your space anyway. If these words stirred your consciousness, hype this video to help more chosen ones awaken to this. Your head is being anointed right now, not metaphorically, literally. God is pouring oil on your crown, protecting your mind, shielding your thoughts from intrusive voices that have been trying to derail you. You've been battling serious mental warfare lately, thoughts that don't sound like you, ideas that don't align with who you are, fears that seem to come out of nowhere and consume you before you can even process them. That's the enemy trying to infiltrate your mind, because the enemy knows your thoughts create your reality. If the devil can control your thinking, the devil can control your life. But this anointing is changing that. This oil on your crown is creating a barrier that enemy attacks can't penetrate. It's giving you clarity in the middle of chaos, helping you distinguish between your voice, God's voice, and the enemy's voice. Soon you're going to know things before happening, sense energy shifts before occurring, see through lies immediately, walk into situations already knowing who to trust and who to avoid. Your intuition is about to become scary accurate, and this gift is not just for you, it's for the masses of people you're about to impact. This week something is going to click, something you've been worried about, something you've been scared to even say out loud because naming it felt like giving it power. That thing is going to be resolved. You're going to get clarity you've been desperately seeking, confirmation you've been praying for, a sign that makes all this suffering make sense, and when you get it, the snow globe is going to shatter. The glass that's been distorting your view, keeping you from seeing clearly, separating you from people who really love you, it's going to break. Those people you thought abandoned you were fighting to reach you all along. Those 2 or 3 real ones were outside your snow globe screaming, "I love you, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere." But voices were drowned out by all the haters throwing rocks. You couldn't hear them clearly, couldn't see them accurately, but none of them left. All of them were fighting through sludge and mud to get to you. This week you need to do something vulnerable. You need to reach out, let them hear your voice. Tell them, "I'm not okay right now. I'm working through something deep, and I need you to know it's not about you." That conversation is going to be terrifying. Your voice might shake, you might cry, you might struggle to find words, but you're going to do it, and then it'll be easier with the second person, easier with the third. And with each act of vulnerability, with each truth you speak, cracks will form in the snow globe until it completely shatters. When it does, you're going to see everything differently, people, situations, the whole journey. You'll realize prayers you thought went unanswered were being answered in ways you couldn't recognize while inside the globe. Before life wounded you, before that event in childhood, you were magical. You had an imagination that created entire worlds. You believed in possibilities adults called impossible. You trusted easily, loved freely, dreamed without limitations. That version of you got buried under years of pain and survival mode, but that magic never died. It's been waiting for you to come back and reclaim it. This trauma healing work is not just processing pain. You're excavating treasure, digging through layers of hurt to find the parts of yourself that got left behind when you had to grow up too fast, protect yourself too young, learn lessons no child should have to learn. And as you uncover these pieces, as you integrate this younger version with who you are now, something incredible happens. The magic comes back. But this time, it's not naive magic, it's not a childish fantasy, it's power combined with wisdom, faith combined with experience, creativity combined with strategy. You're being taken back to that moment before the trauma, not to stay there but to rescue that child and bring them forward into your present, to show them that you made it, you survived, you're safe now. Your inner child is about to be so proud of you. That younger version who was scared, who was hurt, who wondered if anyone would ever come save them, is about to witness you standing up and saying, "I'm here now, I've got you, I'm going to protect you." That act of self-parenting, that decision to be for yourself what you needed someone else to be back then, that's going to unlock levels of healing you didn't even know were possible. The creativity that got shut down is about to flow again. The joy that got stolen is about to return. The wonder that got replaced with cynicism is about to resurrect. Everything trauma took from you is about to be restored with interest. While you've been focused on just surviving emotionally, while you've been praying just for bills to be paid and strength to make it through another day, God has been setting up something you're not going to believe. You're about to calculate money you've never calculated before. Amounts that make you check your account twice, opportunities that seem impossible. When it hits, you're not even going to care that much at first because you'll still be working through this breakthrough that's tearing you apart inside. You'll be like, okay, cool, my bills are paid, but I'm trying to work through the scariest cycle of my life. But that money is evidence that every prayer you prayed was heard, every tear you cried was collected, every moment you chose faith over fear was documented. This financial blessing isn't random, it's return on obedience. Every time you gave when you had nothing, every time you honored integrity when nobody was watching, every time you trusted God's timing instead of forcing your own. Some of you are going to receive job offers with salaries that seem like mistakes, business ideas that generate income you never imagined, inheritance or settlements you weren't expecting, doors opening that you didn't know existed, and it's going to happen fast. What used to take years will happen in weeks. What used to require struggle will flow with ease. This is your birthright being restored. This is the universe saying you've been through enough, you've proven yourself, now receive what you've actually earned. This money coming is not just for you to enjoy, although you absolutely will enjoy it. This money is evidence that God rewards faithfulness. Even the biggest spiritual gangsters are big babies on the inside. You know this now. Sometimes you need a hug. Sometimes you need to get it out. Sometimes you can't be strong for everybody. You need to be soft for yourself. And you're seeing that now. You are a spiritual gangster. You are God's baby with sugar baby favor. You are spoiled by the divine in love. And you are about to come out of this transformation ferocious, ready to fight, ready to protect your future self and your inner child with everything you've got. The best case scenario is unlocking. You're not going through all this for nothing. You're going through this so the best version of you can emerge. The version that feels comfortable standing up against large groups. The version that says what needs to be said without apologizing. The version that writes what wants to be written without fear. This is a mega galactic superhero activation happening right now. Even your tears are magical. When you cry, people are activated. Some might try to use it for evil, but your tears can move mountains. That's your testimony. God chose you. You were born the star. This has been intense, more intense than you thought it would be. But you're seeing now how intense it really was, and that's actually a good thing, because it means you're coming out of it. You're shedding tears that release what needed releasing. You're speaking truths that needed speaking. You're working through what needed working through. Those who gathered in little groups to talk about you, to plot against you, to decide together that you were the problem, are now watching you rise, and they can't figure out what went wrong with their plans. Their confidence was high. Everything was mapped out. The whole campaign was designed around tearing you down, humbling you, putting you in your place. They even recruited others to help them do it. These people were fighting against someone God was actively protecting. They were throwing rocks at a snow globe that heaven reinforced. They were sending curses to someone the divine was blessing. They were speaking death over someone God was breathing life into. Now these people are just standing around watching everything backfire, and their understanding is nowhere to be found. They're asking themselves, how did this person we were coming for end up winning? How did the one we tried to destroy end up elevated? How is this person glowing brighter after we threw our worst at them? Because you're not regular. You're not just another person trying to make it. You were specifically selected before the foundation of the world for this assignment. Your name was called in heavenly places. Your destiny was written in books that exist outside of time. Your protection was guaranteed by the blood of the covenant. So when these attacks came for you, they weren't just coming for a person. These attacks were coming against divine purpose. They were coming against heavenly assignment. They were coming against something that had backup from realms most people don't even believe exist. And that's exactly why people look so stupid now. You can't beat someone God is with. You can't destroy someone heaven is protecting. You can't curse what God has blessed. You can't stop what the divine has ordained. These people tried anyway, because their arrogance was high enough to think human plans could override heavenly plans. Their foolishness was deep enough to believe their coordination could disrupt divine orchestration. What you need to recognize is how protected you've actually been this whole time. Every scheme that was designed to harm you hit an invisible wall you didn't even know was there. Every trap that was set for you somehow sprung on someone else. Every curse that was sent your way boomeranged back to the sender before it could touch you. You thought you were just lucky. You thought you were just figuring things out as you went. But no, you were being shielded by forces that move in your favor, whether you see them or not. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. And now you're starting to understand the magnitude of what's been happening behind the scenes. While you were crying yourself to sleep wondering if you'd make it, angels were working overtime blocking attacks you'll never even know about. While you were questioning if anyone cared, heaven was dispatching reinforcements to surround you. While you were feeling alone in your snow globe, the entire spiritual realm was mobilized on your behalf. This is what it means to be chosen. This is what it looks like when God marks someone as untouchable. This is the reality of walking under divine covering, even when you can't feel it, can't see it, can't prove it. Your enemies had no idea what they were up against. They saw you struggling and assumed you were weak. They watched you crying and thought you were broken. They observed you withdrawing and believed you were defeated. What they didn't see was the army of light surrounding you, the hedge of protection encircling you, the favor of heaven resting on you. Watch what happens to people who fight against the anointed. Watch what happens when the fan starts hitting and all their schemes blow back in their faces. That gossip they spread is now coming back to damage their own reputations. Those lies they told are causing people to question their credibility. Those alliances they formed against you are turning on each other now. That trap they set is being fallen into by the very ones who dug it. This is divine justice playing out in real time, and you get a front row seat to watch people reap exactly what they sowed. But here's what's wild. You're not even focused on their downfall. You're too busy stepping into your upgrade to pay attention to their unraveling. You're too occupied with your blessings to monitor their consequences. You're too busy being elevated to watch their exposure. That right there is what makes you different from them. Their obsession was on your destruction. Your obsession is on your destiny. They spent energy trying to stop you. You spent energy trying to grow. They used time plotting against you. You used time healing and evolving. That's the difference between people who operate from jealousy and people who operate from purpose. Jealous people are always watching others, comparing, competing, scheming about how to bring someone else down. Purpose-driven people are too focused on their assignment to be distracted by what others are doing. While these people were busy looking at you, you were busy looking up. While groups were forming to discuss your downfall, you were forming prayers for your breakthrough. While hate was energizing their attacks, faith was empowering you. This is exactly why it's hitting the fan now. Everything they sent out is boomeranging back with force. Every word they spoke against you is now manifesting in the lives of those who spoke it. Every curse they tried to place on you is landing on the heads of those who sent it. Every pit they dug for you is becoming a trap for the diggers themselves. You're watching karma work in real time. You're seeing spiritual law demonstrate itself before your eyes. You're witnessing what happens when people mess with someone. Heaven is protecting. And the most beautiful part is, you didn't have to lift a finger. You didn't have to defend yourself. You didn't have to fight back. You just had to stay faithful, stay focused, stay in your lane, and let God handle the rest. This is the power of trusting divine timing. This is what happens when you resist the urge to retaliate. This is the outcome of letting heaven fight your battles instead of fighting them yourself. Because when you fight in the natural realm, you get natural results. But when you let God fight in the spiritual realm, you get supernatural vindication that no human strategy could ever produce. Your enemies are confused right now. Nothing they tried worked the way it was supposed to work. Every plan backfired. Every scheme unraveled. Every attack missed its mark. And they can't understand why. They're looking for the flaw in their strategy. They're analyzing what went wrong. They're trying to figure out how you outsmarted them. But you didn't outsmart anybody. You simply stayed connected to the source of all wisdom while they relied on their own limited understanding. This is what makes you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. It's not your intelligence, though you're intelligent. It's not your strength, though you're strong. It's not your resources, though you'll have plenty of those soon. What makes you dangerous is your connection, your relationship with the divine, your ability to hear God's voice, your willingness to obey even when it doesn't make sense, your faith that trusts the process even when you can't see the outcome. That connection is what's been protecting you all along. That relationship is what's been guiding you through the maze of attacks. That faith is what's been sustaining you when everything looked impossible. And now that same connection, that same relationship, that same faith is about to propel you into dimensions of blessing that will blow your mind. You need to understand something crucial about what's happening. This isn't just about people getting what they deserved. This is about you being vindicated. This is about your name being cleared. This is about everyone who believed the lies now seeing the truth. This is about your character being proven, your integrity being demonstrated, your anointing being confirmed. When people who tried to destroy you end up destroying themselves instead, it sends a message. It tells everyone watching that you were never the problem they portrayed you as. You were never the villain they painted you to be. You were actually the one God was protecting all along. People are going to start looking at you differently, some with respect, some with fear, some with awe, some with regret because they chose the wrong side. They listened to the wrong voices. They believed the wrong narrative. Now they have to live with the fact that they opposed someone heaven was for. They rejected someone God chose. They dismissed someone the divine was elevating. You are standing at the intersection of vindication and elevation. You're watching enemies fall while simultaneously watching your blessings rise. You're experiencing justice and favor at the same time. You're getting freed from false accusations while being freed into new dimensions. Most people experience vindication or elevation. You're getting both simultaneously because God is making a statement with your life. That statement is this: when you touch my anointed, when you harm my chosen, when you fight against my purpose, you fight against me, and nobody wins that fight. Those who came for you weren't just coming against you personally, they were coming against the God who sent you. They were resisting the purpose heaven assigned you. They were opposing the destiny divinely orchestrated for you, and heaven doesn't take that lightly. Heaven doesn't ignore attacks on its ambassadors. Heaven doesn't overlook harm done to its representatives. So what you're witnessing right now is heaven responding. Divine justice is manifesting. Spiritual law is activating. Cosmic correction is taking place. Your vindication isn't just clearing your name. Your vindication is establishing your authority. Every lie that gets exposed doesn't just prove you are telling the truth. It proves you carry truth. Every attack that backfires doesn't just show you are protected. It shows you are untouchable. Every enemy that falls doesn't just mean they were wrong about you. It means they were foolish to come against someone heaven marked as chosen. This vindication is setting you up for the next level. Because where you're going, you need people to understand who you are before you even open your mouth. You need your reputation to precede you. You need your anointing to be so obvious that skeptics become believers just by being in your presence. And that's exactly what's happening right now. While your enemies are being exposed, your character is being established. While their lies are unraveling, your truth is being cemented. While their schemes are failing, your integrity is being proven beyond doubt. This public vindication is creating a foundation for public ministry, a platform for massive influence, a stage for divine demonstration. You didn't ask for this level of exposure. You would have been fine staying in your lane, minding your business, living your life quietly. But God has other plans. God is using your story to reach masses, your testimony to transform lives, your breakthrough to inspire generations. And for that to happen, people need to see not just where you ended up, but what you came through to get there. This is why the attacks had to be public, why the lies had to spread so far, why the opposition had to be so intense. Because your vindication has to match the magnitude of the accusations. Your elevation has to exceed the depth of the attacks. Your blessing has to outshine the severity of the warfare. And that's exactly what's happening. Watch what unfolds over these coming days and weeks. Watch how doors open that were previously locked. Watch how people reach out who previously ignored you. Watch how opportunities present themselves that previously seemed impossible. This is vindication turning into elevation. This is justice manifesting as favor. This is your season of suddenly, where everything changes faster than you can process. Snow always lands on top. You always land on top. That's just who you are. You're a problem solver, a fixer. You uncover things that are hidden and resolve them with quickness. What's been terrifying you is that this situation couldn't be fixed instantly like you're used to. The limbo and confusion lasted longer than what felt comfortable, but that discomfort was necessary. It was teaching you to trust the process even when you can't see the outcome. This hardship will be your biggest blessing. You will be ferocious back on your game because you're the leader. You are galactically ferocious. Let me reintroduce myself. You're about to say to the world, And everyone is going to see a version of you that's been forged in fire, tested in warfare, purified through trauma, and emerged anointed beyond measure. Your vessel is divine. You're getting a divine upgrade that's going to have you operating at levels most people only dream about. Several blueprints are being revealed to you. God's got you seated like, okay, here's the plan, here's the better plan, here's the backup plan, and all of them are going to work out for you. Your third eye is being activated. The obstacles that were in the way trying to prevent you from seeing who you really are being removed. The enemy did not want you to see your true self, because once you work through this pain and stand on it with confidence, you become unstoppable. While everything is falling apart for others, everything is falling into place for you. While relationships are crumbling for some, yours are strengthening. While reputation is being damaged elsewhere, yours is being restored. While finances are getting tight around you, yours are expanding. While peace is being disturbed in the lives of others, yours is increasing. This is what happens when you endure the process, when you stay faithful through attacks, when you refuse to retaliate even though you could, when you keep your integrity even when being lied about, when you maintain your character even when being slandered, when you trust God's justice instead of taking revenge into your own hands. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to explain your side. You don't have to prove you were telling the truth. Your life becomes the proof. Your blessing becomes the evidence. Your elevation becomes the vindication. People see you thriving, and understanding comes without you saying a word. This is why you had to stay quiet during the accusations, why you couldn't defend yourself the way you wanted to, why you had to let God fight for you instead of fighting for yourself, because when you fight your own battles, you get human results. When God fights for you, you get supernatural vindication. The fan is hitting, things are falling apart for enemies and falling together for you. People are looking stupid for underestimating who God called you to be. And you are walking into the fullness of your chosen status. Everything you survived was qualifying you for everything you're about to receive. You are God's chosen one, baby. It's time for everyone to know it, not because you're bragging, not because you're being arrogant, but because your life is about to become such an undeniable display of divine favor that hiding it would be impossible. Your blessing is about to be so visible that denying it would be foolish. You need to receive it fully. Stop shrinking. Stop apologizing for your wins. Stop dimming your light because others are uncomfortable. That era is done. You tried being invisible. You attempted going along to get along. You experimented with keeping peace by keeping yourself hidden. And where did it get you? Still attacked, still lied about, still targeted anyway. So now you're going to try something different. You're going to shine. You're going to flourish. You're going to celebrate every single blessing without apology. You're going to walk in your authority without shrinking. You're going to speak your truth without fear. You're going to claim your space without asking permission, because people who are supposed to celebrate you will celebrate you. People who are meant to support you will support you. People who are assigned to your life will stay in your life. Everyone else was only there for a season, only present for a reason, only around for a lesson, and that lesson is now complete. The tables have turned, justice is manifesting, the truth is emerging, and you are rising. Not despite what was done to you. Because of it, every attack made you stronger. Every lie made your truth more powerful. Every plot against you positioned you higher. The world is about to see what a chosen one looks like when they step into their full power, when they stop playing small, when they stop apologizing for their anointing, when they stop hiding their light. You're about to become a walking testament to the power of endurance, the reward of faithfulness, the outcome of trusting God through the fire. And for everyone who made the mistake of coming against you, may this be a lesson. May your rise be a warning. May your blessing be a reminder that you can't stop what God has ordained. You are the chosen one, baby. Now walk in it.